Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. Well, it finally happened today. Dennis Allen let go as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. The team announced this morning that he would no longer be in that position. They will move forward with Darren Rizzi as the interim head coach. Joe Woods will handle the defense. And quite frankly, what happened yesterday in Charlotte needed to happen. It needed to happen. Because this is an organization, the New Orleans Saints, from the top with Gayle Benson, down through the executives with Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscha, Kai Harley, and even down into the coaching staff with Dennis Allen. This is an organization that has a way that it has done things, and they're just going to continue to do them that way. And it's evident that that way doesn't work. And you needed to be shocked into reality to go, hey, this ain't it. And clearly, going 9-8 or 8-9 isn't shocking enough. Missing the playoffs 3 straight years isn't shocking enough. You needed to lose 7 in a row and get beat by the worst organization in the sport to have the light come on. I mean, think about what they've done. Sean Payton moves on. Okay, well, we'll just get the next guy up. Dennis Allen, you coach him. And that means Pete Carmichael, you step up a notch and you run the offense. And you keep Mickey Loomis around. And you keep Dennis Lauscha around. And you're just content to continue with this personnel. And it's not just the personnel, it's the decision-making. It's the way that you handle the salary cap. It's the way that you structure contracts to defer money and just narrowly try to dip under that salary cap with no flexibility each and every year. And you get older and you get more expensive and you don't get any better and you finally hit rock bottom. And it's going to force this franchise to make a change. And this cannot be the only change. There need to be trades in the next 24 hours, multiple. They need to go outside the organization to go get a new head coach and new ideas. They need to stop with this restructuring of contracts that anchors you to old players that are past their prime, that are eating up massive amounts of your salary cap. This needs to be a complete teardown of the organization. Monday was the start. There's a long process ahead of this that has got to be handled. Dennis Allen is a good defensive coordinator. He's not a good head coach. This proved itself out over 2 stints at 2 different stops, incidentally with the same quarterback, but this is proof. And you've got to move away from that era, leave all of the Peyton Breeze stuff in the rearview mirror and start new. Trying to play the continuity game with the New Orleans Saints has not worked. And now you are in such a bad position, both with the roster and the salary cap, that sadly, this is not a quick fix. This is not like a college basketball coach coming in, grabbing 7 guys out of the transfer portal and contending for the NCAA tournament the next year. You've got too many years and too many dollars invested into too many players that are on a team that can't perform to get rid of all those and bring in a bunch of new ones. You are years away from a championship level product in New Orleans. And you are in that position because of a reluctance to move away from the stuff that did it the first time. I think we can all pretty clearly sit here and suggest that Sean Payton and number 9 were shouldering a massive amount of what was going on Airline Highway, Airline Drive, and into the Dome. Dennis Allen did a great job as a defensive coordinator, did a solid job at developing and assembling secondaries. But once he got put in the pilot seat, it was a slow descent. It didn't crash and burn immediately, but it was a slow descent. And his inability to pilot the ship, combined with the massive amount of impactful injuries, spelled doom. And I really think, as of 3 weeks ago, the Saints probably really believed that they were on the right track. Nobody that was analyzing the team felt that way, but I think 3 weeks ago, ownership and the executive team thought that we're close here. We're on the precipice. We're doing things the right way. And as these losses continue to pile up and you get smashed by Denver, and then you go to Charlotte in front of no fans and get beat by an atrocious organization with a quarterback who stinks on ice, that is the bucket of cold water that makes you go, okay, this is not good. We've got to do something different. And what the Saints don't need to do is go grab somebody that worked for Dennis Allen and plug them in and keep the continuity together. Blow this thing up. Marshawn Lattimore, out the door. Chase Young, out the door. You've got a couple of pieces here that you may be able to fetch some draft capital with. You're not going to get a bunch of first-round picks. You're not going to get a bunch of second-round picks. But if you can get some third, fourth, fifth rounders to start this tear down and rebuild, go do it. Because the fact of the matter is that there are probably not very many guys on that roster right now who are going to be on the next really good Saints team. Taliesin Fuaga? Sure. Eric McCoy? Sure. Brian Brzee? Sure. Maybe Carl Granderson. But guys like Kamara, Taysom Hill, Lattimore, these guys probably aren't. And some of them are tradable and some of them aren't based on contracts, and we understand that. We've had those conversations. But you've got to start exploring all of that. Because this season is obviously sunk. You're moving on without your head coach. And you've got to have a massive shift in culture and philosophy in New Orleans. Because this old way, this old regime, this old guard, got to go. Got to go. So maybe as embarrassing as that loss was yesterday, maybe as embarrassing as it was, and it sure was, Carolina can't beat anybody. Maybe as embarrassing as that was, it will be the shock that'll go, oh, wow. Really got to make a change here. It's like when you get on the scale that one time and you finally see that number that's changed and you go, oh, we got to make some changes here. Maybe that was the moment for New Orleans yesterday. They made the first step there with Dennis Allen, who I thought handled himself with a ton of class yesterday in the postgame press conference and then releasing a statement through the Saints social media earlier today. Dennis Allen was an asset to the Saints organization. He was not a complete and utter disaster from arrival. He showed up, did a great job with the defense, piloted some of the best defenses in the NFL. Then when he got his chance as a head coach, it just proved out that's not where he's best suited. And he's gotten his last opportunity to do that. He won't be a head coach anymore. But I would imagine before the end of January, he'll have a new job as a defensive coordinator somewhere, and that team will have hired a really good defensive coach. Just wasn't going to be the head guy in New Orleans. So the question now begs, okay, we don't have Dennis Allen. The rest of this season is toast. What's next? Who's next? There are some names that have surfaced already that folks have put up on kind of a hot board. We're months away from the Saints actually making that decision, and they'll have a chance to lay a ton of groundwork here. But the question is not whether or not there are good coaches available. The question is New Orleans an attractive place to bring a coach? And that is Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscha and Gayle Benson's next issue they're going to have to deal with. Hey, it's Hunt. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.